And thanks for your time. A busy, busy time for you, undoubtedly. Can you give us any idea of a final figure at this point? Not final, but where we are this Monday morning when it comes to road deaths?
Well, you would know that in the middle of the festive we were at 768. We've had a couple of crashes thereafter, but the situation has largely been managed. I think we would come down from the 16% increase that we had in the middle of December. We're still finalizing the numbers and collating. You'd know that there was a major crash yesterday, and there were other smaller ones. So we need to collate those numbers.
Okay, so that 768 does not include those accidents from yesterday?
It doesn't include the yesterday and the other ones. So, but we believe that we would come down from the 16% increase to a more acceptable number, really. We're aiming for a 10% reduction. We may not see that, but we will get somewhere closer.
Okay, so final figures will still be due. Would you say that the worst is over, that this past weekend is when you expected the major rush and that's over, or would you still be keeping an eye on the roads for the rest of this week?
And I will just be keeping an eye today, but the worst is over, really. We had expected that the last group would come over this weekend and ending yesterday. It's been pleasing to note that people had actually planned their return trips properly, because they started coming back from the 27th. Just before the New Year's, we saw another peak, and over the whole week, we'd been seeing 1,500 cars returning from holidays, which helped in managing the situation on the roads. And the attitude had changed. Maybe people no longer have money, the excitement's gone, they're no longer speeding and they were obeying the rules of the road, except for a few, of course. Like yesterday, there was a bus driver arrested for overloading the bus. It's a cross-border bus in Limpopo, overloaded 90 people. He's in police custody. But apart from those incidents, minor incidents that are now happening, it's been fairly quiet.
Before we talk more about driver behavior or road user behavior, those accidents that we saw yesterday, including this one in the Free State, the big one where 11 people were killed, and you say there were several other smaller ones, would you say those were due to people rushing back at the last minute? Any idea of the causes of those accidents?
Well, this bus crash, this one on the entry, it was a tire burst. There were others where people lost control of vehicles, whether either because the road surface was wet. We know it's been raining, and for one or other reasons. But we have seen that alcohol, as people were coming back, was not a major factor. Okay. It was more really issues around fatigue that we were seeing was playing a role.
Okay, but in general, Simon, road users, and I'm talking drivers, I'm talking pedestrians, whoever they may be, whether they were behind a wheel or not, but anybody who was found on the road, how did we fare overall, you know, in terms of whether you were driving through a suburb or whether you were on a major route? Did we find that people were mostly well-behaved, that they heeded the warnings that came through at the start of the festive season?
The majority of the people did, if you consider the number of vehicles that travelled. But there is still a concern within built-up areas, in the suburbs, in the townships. That's where people drink and walk, people go into joyrides, and pedestrian fatalities are higher in those areas. We'll see how it comes out. In the past, Joburg used to be among the highest, but they have put a big effort over this festive season. We hope that we will see the results.
And in terms of people keeping their vehicles in good condition, roadworthiness, I see there was also a bit of concern about the number of broken down cars on the side of the roads. What kind of a headache did that cause?
That was a big headache. Even this weekend, there were many cars that were being fixed along the side of the road, either because of a tire burst there or a car broken down for one or another reason. It makes the work of traffic officers very difficult, because a vehicle that's broken along the side of the road on a very busy day is a threat. It becomes a risk to other road users. That was a big problem. Another problem was the people hitchhiking on the freeways. That is also a big problem, because you're now having unexpected pedestrians on the roads when it is very busy, and anything can happen in that situation.
So when will we expect final figures? When are we expecting the Minister to sort of put it all together and give us an idea of how we did?
Well, we'll finalize the figures, do quality assurance, and the Minister will indicate his readiness to issue the thing once he has seen the figures.
Okay, thanks very much for your time there. That's Road Traffic Management Corporation spokesperson Simon Zwane, just giving us a holiday traffic wrap-up. It seems the worst is behind us, but they are still vigilant on the roads. Well, Ian